Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Puckett, Swanee, and Mr. Duffman _NA for North America. Not Asian.
Not Argentinian.
No nipple. Wait, that's two ends. Way off. All right, Swanee, bring me back in here. What are we about to see?
Well, a matchup, I mean, you called Denial to win or at least make the final. I don't think any of us predicted Prof to be in the final, especially given the fact that they were in Optic Gaming side of the back. I think universally Optic Gaming are considered the favourites coming into this tournament, especially given their current run of form in online tournaments. 2 5Ks. I think was he a 10K or something, but either way, they've won a lot of online tournaments. Again, FaZe, you have to consider them the favourites from the opposite side of the bracket. So for them to lose to Denial, which by the way was the second consecutive time this week that they've lost to them in tournament and league play, could be considered an upset, especially given the fact that it was a 3-0, right?
Yes.
Denial 3-0 FaZe, yeah.
And they were all comebacks except for that game 3. So
yeah. I mean, that's a huge result. So you could say Prof on paper, you could say it would have been an easy game versus Stunner, but that's just not the case. It went to last round 6-5. They went all the way.
Got it. Looks like we got 3 members of Denial in here, 3 from Prof. 0 casters. Guys, you able to get in?
Try to invite me again. I was unable to join.
Oh.
Yeah, me too.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, go to that main
Kind of
menu.
had this issue with Denial earlier, too.
That's no good for anyone. So we're trying to get into this grand finals here. I'm hoping for another 5-game series. Prof, Denial, 2 very even teams. As I look at the 2 squads, though, I'm trying to think who I think is stronger on paper. I think Prophecy looking like the stronger squad all around. That they kind of do a nice job of kind of spreading out the objective in the slaying. When I look at Denial, it's just been big performances from them. Zuma kind of clutching up, Attach clutching up in the CTF game. In their Search game, they really just took turns as well. So honestly, I don't know who I favor in this grand finals now knowing the matchup, but Prof definitely looking a little bit scary in that uplink performance as well as clutching up there in round 11. But I think Denial because they beat FaZe instead of Stunner.
I mean, I would agree. Here's the thing. You said Denial to win this. Now that I know it's Denial versus Prof, while Prof is loaded with talent, like you just said, and they look stacked more on paper, Denial just somehow makes bigger plays. And you see him out of Attach, you see him out of Zuma. I think that you see him out of replays. I think Denial's going to take this series. I don't think it's going to go to game 5, though. Probably going to be a 3-1. We'll go to uplink.
No game 5. Keep tweeting that at the Prof guys if you can, because they got all 4 in, but Denial still only 2. So I wonder if Denial is having trouble getting into this one. I'll keep sending you guys some invites as well. I hope to goodness you can get in. Solo casting ain't no fun for anybody, especially on the hard point.
We could just watch you solo cast for 10 minutes.
Really excited for that. Really excited.
That'd be great.
Swanee, give us a time check. It's 9 p.m. here in the States, East Coast.
It's 2 a.m., my friend. 2 a.m. We're on the night shift.
Gosh.
And what time did you wake up and start playing Call of Duty today?
I had about 3 hours sleep last night. Played a lot of Call of Duty today, yeah, and I've done a lot of casting, so it's a late one, but it's worth it, definitely.
I like it. Swanee, one of the new personalities we're going to see nonstop here on MLG.TV, at least until he's over in the U.S. playing some video games for one of the top squads. It looks like Attach and Zuma now in with Saints waiting on replays. And
I'm going to try to leave to the main menu and come back because I can't accept any invite.
Do that ish one more time. I'll definitely message Saints and see if we can get a new host for later in the series. But I don't want to mess anything up since it is the grand finals. Whatever they're playing on is what we'll let them. We'll also be able to watch the streams together, my friends. But Prof going up against Denial. I'm sticking with the prediction. I'm going 3-1. This one doesn't get this Search and Destroy game 5.
That's what I said. 3-1 Denial.
Yep, I'm with you both on that one. I think although Prof, sure, they've had a good run of form in this tournament, well, that's an understatement actually. They've been incredibly impressive throughout this tournament. You need to consider Denial. They've won the past 5 games in the league, so you know overall they're looking good. The past week, not just this tournament, but on a consistent level. And I can't see them losing this.
Guys, hit us up with your predictions. I'm tweeting it out right now. Does Prophecy have a Twitter tag?
Yeah, at Prophecy Team,
Prophecy
I think it
Team?
is.
All right, there we
Yeah.
go. Denial eSports.
Try sending me another invite when you get a second. Were you able to join, Swanee?
No, I need one as well.
Oh man.
Ha! Weird.
Bunch of non-able to joiners.
Technology, man.
Replays. Uh-oh. Clever Bear 1 got in. I don't know who you are, Clever Bear, but be nice.
Clever Bear 1.
Clever Bear 1. We all know you. We're all hunting. Oh man. Retreat Hardpoint game number 1. As we take a look at our bracket. You know what? Let's review the bracket today if we can, Ron. I'm going to go back to the round of 8. Here you can see what has happened in the last 3 hours. Optic Gaming versus Stunner. We thought Optic Gaming was going to run away with Solar. They did a replay of that map. Ended up being Stunner who took game 1. Then they surprised Optic Gaming with a, I believe, a 6-3, 6-4 win on Biolab S&D. Closed it out with the Uplink game on comeback. Optic playing from their favorite side. We'd seen them time and time again dominate the second half of Uplink games. Not happening this time as Stunner keeps the satellite out of their hands, brings it up green side, and able to get the dunks back yellow. Justice versus Prophecy, expected that to be a 5-game series. Instead, Prof hits them with the quick 3-0. Honestly, Justice just getting outclassed in that matchup. Really impressive snipes and search and destroy by Fears and Ricky. They really slowed down the pace of Biolab and dominated that game 6-0. Then in game 3, able to close it out. Denial SB, pretty one-sided in Denial's favor. And then, of course, TK FaZe 3-1. But that was probably one of the closest matches of the day, the closest at least in our round of 8, before we saw our semifinal. Stunner Prophecy. Stunner up 2-0. Prof brings it back, able to steal it in game number 5. It went the distance with Stunner forcing a round 11. Prophecy clutching up on defense, and then on the other side, Denial versus FaZe. That one, both games in favor of FaZe. Final 30 seconds, Denial wins the hard point, and then they go on and win the S&D after being down 5-3. We're kicking off Retreat Hardpoint. Guys, I'm sorry you didn't get into the action, so it's time for some solo cast. Duffman, Swanee, feel free to watch the streams, my friend.
Oh, we're going to be watching the stream. Enjoy the solo cast.
Hey, Ron, can I get some water for the next 10 minutes? It's going to be a party. Let's get it, boys.
Pumped. You are pumped.
So excited.
The eyes of Parasite for this one.
Ooh, I like that call. Now, if you can, listen into 2 different streams. Swan, if you can jump on board with the Denial squad. And Duff, you stay with this Prophecy lineup. I want to hear the communication and really who is the vocal leader on each squad, who's calling the plays out here as we're getting into hardpoint on screen. You're going to see Denial off the break. This is replays, and he chooses to go with lightweight, fast hands. Going to have toughness as well as that blast suppressor to open things up, and immediately picked off inside the hardpoint. This one just going to be a sloppy mess back and forth. We're going to stay on board with Denial for a bit, this time with Zuma up top, who's opened things up 2-0.
That's what you expect, to be honest. On the first hill, on pretty much every hard point, it's hard to maintain, a full setup on it and get control of the majority of the points. You're just looking to contest it, really. That's why it's regarded as, scrap time, garbage time. You might hear players say in game, and that's all it is, really. You're just looking to deny the enemy any sort of control and set yourselves up for the spawns for the second hill.
Ooh, Prof coming in hot. Fears picks up a 2-piece. You see Ricky in the kill feed with a 2-piece of his own. All 4 down. They're going to milk the hill for the final 9 seconds. Not even contested until just now. And now it's a fight for statue control. Swanee, what's the ideal setup when you're trying to protect your statue setup?
Ideally, I think the most important position is getting someone control of the top of the 5th hard point, the top of the big stairs, the loft, and that you can basically from there you can see both the bottom lobby and you can cut them off from the back stairs. Ideally, you want to hold the pool as well, so basically get them flooding into both the underpass and the back, and it's an incredibly hard cut off the break.
Attached was that player up top. He was cleaned up. Now Prophecy going to be cleaned out of the hill by Attach and Saint. Saints inside the hard point, milking up the time. Will now help his team take the lead for the first time. 27-22 is our score with 20 seconds still on this back hard point. Zuma knows they got to break it. Waiting for the push from the player inside the hard point, but Prof doing such a good job of trying to keep that guy alive. Attached, though, with a single grenade, picks up 2, and it's going to be Zuma retaking the hill as the hill will rotate in 6 seconds. Denial going to be up 14 points. Let's go over to Prophecy. Parasite, last man up. He's spawning down low. Denial's going to have the hill. Everyone in position. How does Prophecy plan to break this?
Prophecy's communications on point right now. I've been listening with Parasite's stream, and they are non-stop. Got the call-outs, obviously, and they're hyping each other up, which is important and not something that you'd expect out of that squad. A lot of people don't know how vocal Ricky is, but Ricky is a very vocal person in-game. Obviously, He's kind of shy and timid in person, but in-game, he's very vocal, and right now, these guys are fired up, and their communication's on point.
Fears takes out the back for Prophecy, making sure that Denial is not going to spawn behind him. And look at that hard point because of the way Fears is playing back here, kind of playing that anchor role. Everyone spawning out front for Prophecy. Denial is going to, or excuse me, for Denial and Prophecy. Total control of this hill. Thanks for the water, Ron. We're going over with Legal. Legal inside, not going to last long. But I've got to see what is happening here in our scoreboard. Attached 12 and 10. Saints, he's 11 and 11, but Denial negative despite being in the lead by 10 points.
On the subject of communication as well, Denial, they're going super hard as you'd expect for a match of this caliber, to be honest, but just the intensity you can hear in their voices, and they want to win this, you can just tell.
Who's the loud man?
I think it might have been replays. He screamed something incomprehensible. I didn't catch what it was, but he screamed something at the top of his lungs once he killed someone.
I like it. Yeah, replays known for the triple call out. Look for that, Swanee. One of my favorites. But he's always talking at the front, though. It's going to be attached, met by some pressure. Zuma, last man in position to fight. He's going to get in. Gets some hardpoint time as well as 2 kills. Replays now back off the respawn. Everyone flooding in from all directions, but the time is going to Prof. It's big kills from Fears on a 3-kill. Make it 4-kill. Can't get it. Almost locked it down in the final seconds. The rotation coming in from Prophecy. They're the first ones upstairs, but here comes Denial from down low. Go ahead, Duffman.
It's perspective. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's cutting out a little bit. Difficult to watch this one person's perspective, but this is a very, very close game. Obviously, you have a better perspective seeing kind of exactly how everything is working. But right now, from what I can see, Prophecy is just not doing a great job breaking hills. They get able to get the early rotation typically, but you see Denial get in there and just break it very quickly. What are you seeing from kind of a bigger standpoint?
On this last hard point, it's really been Denial kind of on the take back plan. Prophecy, they did do a nice job on the previous hard point. For hard point 3, they sent Fears all the way around the back. That spawned Denial out, so they got a little bit of scrap time. Down low at hardpoint 4, it was just chaos going back and forth. But here on the 5th hardpoint, I mean, Prophecy's brought it within 10 points. Denial struggling to hold the top. As this one, I mean, after 5 minutes, it can't get too much closer. 10 points separate these two squads going into hardpoint 6.
Wow. This is a difficult hard point to break up here. Obviously, you go up the stairs, you can go up the inside stairs inside the lobby, and you can jump in through the window, but this one's a very difficult one to break. You can kind of just peek around the corner from the top and watch and hold this one get a lot of time on this one. Right now, it looks as though Denial's doing a great job holding it until finally we see Prophecy get in and are trying to get a lot of time. And it looks like, actually, they're about to take the lead.
Yeah, I'm a little bit ahead of you now. Just 5 points separate these squads. Back and forth in hardpoint 6. Back to the middle of the map there with the courtyard. But we're going to see 20 seconds left before this goes back statue. And keep your eyes on the mini-map, guys. We'll keep just the mini-map up in the middle for you so you can see how those red arrows from Denial will be rotating. Replay spawning near the new hardpoint. He's going to be watching poolside. Meanwhile, you can see that's going to be Zuma setting up top in that power position that Swanee discussed earlier, up in that window. The right side, though, no one's watching it, and that's where the pressure from Prop is going to be coming from. I'm liking this push from Replays. Leaves his position on poolside, doesn't see anything, gets the player inside mid-lobby, tries to double back in time. No one made the call out that it was open. Attached has to deal with the one-on-one, wins that kill. You can see 27 and 19. Saints has been the man inside the hard point. There's another assist and another big kill. Saints now 1 away from 30. He's got 3 minutes, 15 seconds left to go hunting for that 40 bomb. Zuma also dropping some kills with Attached, 23 each. Replays, going to be your designated hill boy, will be taken down. In comes Attached, in comes Saints. Down goes Attached. Saints now trying to fend off 3 players pushing poolside. Grenades coming in everywhere. Does a great job dodging behind that statue. Staying alive, milking the final seconds here. They've pulled away by 35 points. You're going to see a bit of a comeback from Prophecy, but Denial trying to set up on our new hard point across the map. It's up to Attached to stay alive. He can't do so. Ricky with a big kill is going to be inside first.
That was impressive, Puckett. I feel like you should take a sip of water after that solo.
Yeah.
Now, just on the
Beautiful.
topic of communication again, I think people perhaps not as familiar with competitive COD, not as familiar with esports in general. I think they underestimate just how much of a part communication plays in game, and not just call-outs, but just hype, generating hype and complimenting your teammates. You know, people often say, positive vibes, and I think it's Shane who said, the louder you shout, the more powerful your bullets are. Especially on land, when you're hype and when everyone's in a positive mindset, everything just seems to flow better, and you can see that with Denial at the moment as they start to break away. That they're getting loud, they're complimenting each other, let's go, etc., etc. It's almost as if they're in the booth at LAN.
As you say that, Denial breaks the hard point. Zuma replays all in your kill feed. Saints with a big 2-piece there as well to get the intro kills. Saints now 35-25. Controller breaking on me. Come on, son. And there we go. Saints back on our screen. 179 and counting to 127. Attach locking down the bottom with replays behind the bar. Even if Attach goes down, replays still milking this time. 90 seconds left on the clock. They have their biggest lead of the game, 63 points now, as this is going to get scary for Legal and the rest of Prophecy. Legal doing a great job staying alive, going prone. Has shots from behind him. Parasite shooting over his shoulder. Also inside, you see a player up top on that second level staying alive behind the bar. It's Ricky, and Ricky milking the time. 20 seconds left, but they're down to just 70 seconds in the game. Prophecy has to go huge on this final hard point up top. It's all about the rotation early. Look for these blue arrows to back up. That's exactly where we're going to see the push coming from Denial, though. They're going to go around the right side. There's going to be 2 players waiting up top. Replays catches them sleeping. The distraction from the window. He doesn't get the kill. All up to Fears up top. Gets 1. And he will be cleaned up. Denial with control. That should be it for this game. If they can hold on for 10 more seconds, they will take game number 1 in our best of 5. And that is going to do it. Looking at the numbers. Attached 33 and 33 even. +5 for Zuma with 33 kills of his own. Replays with 9 captures. 24 and 32 was milking that time. And Saints dropping the most in the game. 41 and 31. Denial outslaying their opponent. And it shows on the scoreboard. It's going to be about 215 to 167 at the end of this one.
Wow. Denial just went big. Sounds like Saints had a hell of a game. On the opposite side, Prophecy struggling with the slaying. Who had the best KD ratio on Prophecy?
Ricky, 39 and 36 was at least the most kills in the game. So he was the most active. He also had the most captures for his squad.
Wow. Obviously, slaying coming down to it. I know I was able to listen to Parasite before the start of the game and talking about spawns and then trying to control the spawns. Prophecy sounds like they just didn't do a good job of it. They had an objective when it first started. I heard the communication from the beginning. All right, let's push this. You set up here. This will force them to spawn back cave. Let's just get all this time in the beginning. They understand what they're supposed to do. It just sounds like they couldn't execute.
33 and 38 was Parasite. Fears, though, 27 and 33. He was that guy who was supposed to hold down the back hardpoint number 4. Couldn't get that job done the second time around, and that's really when Denial started to pull away.
I'm just talking about pulling away. I'm just watching the because obviously I'm behind. I'm just watching the end of the stream. I think the defining moment was probably the 3rd hill for Denial, and I'm not sure whether it was because of Prof's use of barrels of ARs. They just weren't able to apply as much pressure in that hill. Where the 3rd hill, the circle hill, you literally need 8 times ASMs in just about every scenario because of how close quarters it is and how much pressure you need to apply.
Well, guys, we're going to switch host and go at it again. This time, Search and Destroy. Denial leads 1-0 in the best of 5. Don't go anywhere. S&D when we return.